shish kebab.
I'm just a soul whose intentions are good.
You're always so hyperbolically violent. You need therapy.
Die, Nazi.
He's not a Nazi, GI.
Oh, okay.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Superlair. We are here for Creature Commandos, Episode 3. I'm happy to be joined by my usual homies, starting with JG Shaolin. Terrific. How you doing today, man?
Hey, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Ooh, man, it's been an interesting one. Not waking up and watching this episode first thing. I've had to
right.
I had to feed it off for a little bit, but yeah, surprisingly no spoilers. I'm going in pretty cold, which is pleasant. No one's really talking about it. I don't know if that's a That's a me thing or a conversation thing. We'll see about the viewership numbers for this one. But
I will say this though.
uh-huh.
I was on X, like, to see if you sent the invite, and first thing that popped up was a spoiler. I said, nope, nope, nope. Nope. I'm not looking at it. I saw one word, and I said, I'm not seeing the rest. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, I have a sense of these things. I'm like, okay, I could kind of see where this is going. I'm gonna click off real quick.
Mhm.
Rob, what's going on, man?
Hi, I forgot I was muted.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing fine, just tired because of work.
Real.
Long day, brother. I feel you.
Very real. Very real.
I'm
That's
sick
why
of
we
it.
did not do it in the morning because I was at work. So,
I could change it. That's how I change it.
and finally, James, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Yeah, bit tired. It's evening here in the UK, but
It's late over there.
yeah, it's 11
Yikes.
o'clock. But
Ooh, wow.
I'm very excited to see this episode and great to hang out with you guys.
Absolutely. So, Rob, you were not here for the premiere of Creature Commandos. If you want to quickly go over your thoughts of what you generally think about the show, are you enjoying it thus far?
Episode 1 and 2 I watched. I think it's pretty good. Like, kind of expected, like, the vibe of a Creature Commandos type of Task Force X type of vibe. I really like. I like each character is pretty cool. The scene, like, I know everyone's talking about this scene that was in between Rick. I think it's Rick Sir. Is it Sir Rick Flag? I think it is.
Senior, Rick Flag Senior.
Yeah, Senior Rick Flag. The Senior Rick Flag and the
The princess.
Yeah, the princess.
Hilarious.
I don't mind it, but I know there's this rumor that was Clayface or something like that. I heard that.
Yeah, I've been seeing that around. I don't know if there's any validity to that.
Oh,
I think
God, I
that's
hope
just
not.
that would be that would be an interesting reveal.
Wasn't it?
Rick Flag's gonna be like, oh no, what?
What have I done? Yeah, that
But,
low key would be pretty funny though.
but everything's I like it pretty good. I like the animation. The animation is very Suicide Squad-esque in a sense. Because it kind of the animation style is kind of what I expected from a Creature Commando or like Task Force type of show when it comes to Mandalore and stuff like that. And I like the designs too. The designs are pretty good. I did like the I think it was in episode 2 where you go very deep into you have Cersei and then you also have you have Frankenstein and stuff like that. That's an interesting development. What happens to him and
Yeah, that was
him and
ugh.
the wife and stuff like
Bride.
bride. Because it's like kind of in a sense of Frankenstein being rejected and the bride liking the creator more than Frankenstein himself. It's kind of interesting how they went that route because now she kind of hates him in a sense because Frankenstein technically killed him.
I mean, she don't kind of hate him. You saw they were battling for.
Yeah, the montage, that was great.
Yeah, that was solid hate there. That was definitely.
Yeah, that's real hate.
Not
That's
ambiguous. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I like basically everything so far. The character development, each character's story and backstory.
Yeah,
And
I think it's been pretty fun. Do we have any theories, speculation, things we want to see in episode 3? I know this one is GI robot centric. And
There
And
is one thing I saw this in the trailer. I saw this in the trailer. I know we're I'm hoping we see, I guess, there's supposed to be, I think, some type of, I saw in the trailer some type of flashback we're supposed to see in the series.
for GI Robot?
Not for GI Robot, but in the show we're supposed to see some type of vision or something like that.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, I think I know. I think I've got an idea of.
I'm not trying to say it because it's technically a spoiler.
Right.
If people
I wouldn't
haven't watched the
have
trailer.
revealed that in the trailer. I know it's like to build hype, but I mean, I don't think there was a need to show that. But now that
You got to remember
we've
this
seen
written
it,
before that movie potentially was even a thing. So,
But I do like where it's gonna have like big connections to the Superman movie. So it's like everything in this gonna have those connections in the Superman movie. So it's like, even if it's technically a vision, it's like it'll still have that kind of continuity type of twine of like Creature Commandos. Like maybe the Superman movie will reference certain things that happen in Creature Commandos in the Superman movie. That's what I'm guessing.
yeah, and I would also add the Easy Company. If we're getting flashbacks with GI Robot, we know who's in the Easy Company. I don't know if we're gonna see him in this episode, but I'm interested in seeing potentially flashbacks with GI Robot and see what he was doing back then. Anyone else?
yeah, I'm expecting those flashbacks as well. I have a feeling this is going to be a character, a typical James Gunn character that we kind of fall in love with, and feel empathy for and sympathize with, and it's a bit like Groot and Rocket Raccoon, not Rocket Raccoon, but he's more like Groot in his kind of personality,
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know what I mean, but maybe I'm not communicating it quite well. Also,
Yeah, no, I get it.
that link, that link with Superman. I think the nation of Pakistan is going to appear in Superman. I have a feeling, and that'll be where Ric Flair comes into Superman. It'll be some crossover with that, because there was a mention about that, something about that in the Superman script, that he goes to this Middle Eastern country or something.
Yeah, that was the rumor.
I heard this theory that's like, it was on, of course, Twitter and stuff like that. But it's like that it's like in like, when was it Sir Rick Flag he's arresting technically Superman and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the theory is going around that it's like in Creature Commandos, Amanda Waller sees a type of vision, and it's like that vision kind of will affect the relationship between like her hatred towards metahumans and everything like that. That's like will start this type of Superman, like of course you have Superman, you have Hawkgirl, you have like Green Lantern, etc. Like versus Amanda Waller with her like kind of like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I think the trailer for the next episode might give some of that away. I have a feeling. And there's always a trailer for the next episode at the end of the episode, just so we're ready for that, because that was the case with the last episode. So
Keep hearing something.
yeah, I have to apologize. My texts keep coming through on my laptop, even though I turned my sound off on my phone.
Oh.
So,
yeah, that's all right. JG, you got anything before we start this episode?
Mainly just I'm curious to see, his backstory and how brief it will be, or will it be expansive? Will we see any other DC characters within his backstory? One name I mistakenly almost sort of saw on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah. Hopefully that was just something that somebody threw out there is not true. Because if it is true, I'm very spoiled right now. Other than that, I still want to see the connectivity of the previous projects and Creature Commandos and what's going to go on forward, right? If anything, I'm really looking forward to, maybe not this episode, but upcoming, Weasel. I want to see his backstory. Like, what the heck did he come from?
Yeah,
That's just he's the one guy. I'm like, girl, whatever the thing is, right? Like, what? Why? What do you come from? Like, what? If anybody's kind of like a Rocket Raccoon backstory, it'll be him or her or it or whatever.
That's true.
In a sense, he probably is. Like, I did see the trailer and stuff like that, but it's like that's really it. But it's like it's gonna be interesting. Like, I feel like you're gonna have like a backstory with each. Maybe you have backstories with each character in each. It's 8 episodes, right?
7.
Oh, seven.
Ooh, so yeah, 4 more of this. Yes.
And so we got 2, 3. Okay, a few more. Okay, I thought it was 8 for some reason.
No, I thought so too, and then they were like, "Oh no, it's 7." I was like, "Oh, all right."
And another thing, are they all going to survive at the end? There's no Suicide Squad. Somebody goes. 1 or 2 people go. So I'm curious.
It's a good
And
question.
I'm
You know,
interested
there's
what-
been talk of. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm interested in what the whole conclusion is gonna be like at the end, because like the main villain is Cersei and stuff like that. So it's like, are you gonna have this? I don't know. Type of battle. Maybe you'll see Wonder Woman. That's what I'm guessing, because it's like Cersei is like
Stop.
a villain.
Stop.
What?
Stop. Remember, I
what?
said I saw half kind of a spoiler accidentally. Stop. I don't want that to be true right now.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I maybe have a faint idea, but I'm not fully there. But no, I agree in the fact that I'm very curious on how this ends. There's been talk of taking some of these characters into live action. Who those will be is going to be the question.
There's talk of a season 2.
I was just about to say, yes, absolutely. Yeah. There's been talk of what do you call it? Informal talk of season 2, like a casual talk, like, oh, wouldn't this be cool? I could believe it.
It'll come for a while, though. I think James Gunn's got.
I wouldn't mind a season 2 if at the end of the series it shows merit that you need a season 2. Like, I don't want it to be where it's like, because this was successful, just do season 2. It's like you have to kind of have that type of like you know, in certain series and stuff like that, and some of them are just one-offs and stuff like that. That's like there's no need for season 2. I don't want it to be like if there's nothing, if it ends there and it leads into Superman, I feel like there might not be need for season 2 in a sense.
I don't think James Gunn would do a season 2 unless there was a story to tell. Well, he doesn't do anything unless there's a story to tell.
Yeah, I'm just saying in a sense of like, I don't know how this thing ends. Like, but like, I do like that. I do like that the first DCU project is animation, and isn't the Authority gonna be animation too?
The what?
Authority.
The Authority. Rumored.
I think that we don't know that, do we yet? So,
like, here's my
comes from a very reliable source, so more.
If they're gonna do it, if they're gonna do live action, because it's initially was a film, I would like it to come in, because this is my stance. If you're gonna do a DC animation movie or something like that, it should always go in theaters, because like, my stance when it comes to DC animation is I always hated that DC movies always came to digital and they never came into theaters. And I feel like, because I'm happy that James Gunn wants more like DC animation movies to come in theaters. And I feel like if this is going to be a movie, just animation, put it in theaters. I feel like that would be best.
I agree, especially with Spider-Verse changing the game. I think DC should absolutely release theatrically animated movies. I think that there's
like
a need.
aside from Spider-Verse and stuff like that, I feel like animation is very good and stuff like that, and you make movies based on these characters, I feel like it should DC animation movies should have always been.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, like it's got to be the right character because
Hmm.
the Authority is not a mainstream character, and so to put that out of a movie and an animated movie would be, I mean, it'd be a risk. But
Risky,
yeah, it would be a little bit of a risk. I think
especially if it's rated R, dude.
yeah, and
Mhm.
a live action Authority movie, yeah, I think that would do pretty well.
Hmm.
Like if it's animated, when it's like the Spider-Verse movies do well, partly because they're really good, but also because everyone knows who Spider-Man is, right?
Yeah.
People love Spider-Man, right? Kids want to go and see a Spider-Man movie. Where the Authority, I think
Daddy, I want to see Authority.
if you want to do the Authority's animation, it would have to be like an 8-part series or something, rather than a movie. Like if you want to do the movie, make it live action. Like I mean, I'm up for an Authority movie. It's James Gunn's passion project, apparently. So
Yeah.
we're going to get something with the Authority in it. I just don't know what it's going to be. Like if it's animation, well, I'm going to go and see it probably because James Gunn will probably be involved in it in some way. So. And it just interests the whole concept of it interests me. Like, and there's rumors as well that Superman shows up in the story they plan to tell. Superman
Yeah, it's based. I think it's
shows
based
up
on.
in that movie as well. So if Superman's in the Authority movie, then I'm going to see it. Like,
Yeah, simple as that. Yeah.
simple as that.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, that's all I need
What
to know. Like, oh, Superman's in it. Yeah, I'm going. Like, I'm a
Why-
Superman cultist, right? So,
what I know about the Authority is they have like. This is like I know that the Authority. This is gonna be like they might take some inspiration based on the Superman Authority, story. Because I remember, like it's kind of like they're tight. Like in a sense, they're like you can think of them like the anti Justice League or something like that. That's like, but like they're willing to do what the Justice League can't, in a sense. And I know Superman has worked with them, and against them. Depends on which story, I guess, which version of because you had the Grant Morrison run when it came to the Authority. Then you have other runs as well. So it's like it depends on which version, I guess, what James Gunn wants to use for the Authority. But I do guarantee that if you're going to introduce the Authority, there is always 100% that Superman's going to pop up.
yeah, I think it makes sense as well story wise because if they're doing the DCU as I think they're doing it with Superman like coming into this world of like corporate superheroes where superheroes are now been around for like decades and have now people have become more cynical about them and they become more corporate and then Superman comes in and shows them what a real hero is and they don't have to do it the way that they're doing it. And the Authority of course is like, well, we've been doing this way for ages. Our way works. Like we're not having Superman come in and change it all. Like and there's an obvious kind of conflict there, right? And so that would be an interesting dynamic.
But I guess it's like we'll see what happens. It's like we don't know, like as much as the source is reliable. At the end of the day, it's like we just have to see if it's live action or animation. At the end of the day,
Yeah, I agree. Whether it be live action or animated, I really like the Authority, and I'm very curious on which direction they go with because animated and rated R is risky. I think there are pros and cons to it being live action. There are pros and cons to it being animated. So, I'm up for whatever, and it should be interesting.
I
The
feel like the
development on that.
pros. I feel like the pros when it comes to like different, like I feel like live action you can do a lot, but you also have limitations. When it comes to animation, if it's rated R, you're kind of it's only specific to a certain core audience, like that are 18 and older that can see it, but you can't. The other audience can't. The upside when it comes to animation is you could do what the hell you want and without any limitations.
Yeah, definitely more freely, I would say.
More freedom. I think that's the one thing I really like about animation is no matter your whatever Marvel, DC, or whatever animation, you can do whatever you want. It's just up to the studio, or in a sense, the person that people that are making it, what core audience they want to target it towards. And it has to be successful at the same time, because it's like if it's something that's not needed to be rated R and stuff like that, that can hurt the success of that animation as well.
There's one. I mean, the most obvious animated movie DC could do, in my opinion, is to hire the people that made the Spider-Verse movies and make Batman Beyond.
I knew you were going there.
Like
That is
here's
the
my
most obvious.
thing.
That's the most obvious animated movie DC could make, and like it will be brilliant, and loads of people will go and see that.
Like
I would
the
be there
problem
day
with
one.
that, it's not the Batman Beyond part isn't the problem, is hiring the same people from Spider-Verse, because the thing when it comes to me is for DC, you want to be your own thing, but you don't also want to copy Spider-Verse. Like
No,
hiring the same people, I don't think is the best idea, because it's like it'll be considered like
A ripoff.
a ripoff. Like the one thing I appreciate with DC is they try different styles of animation and stuff like that. I want, if DC's gonna do a Batman Beyond film, I wanted to do it where it feels natural and it feels like their own type of style rather than just ripping off someone else's style.
Oh yeah, they can still do that. I think they can
Yeah.
still do that. You know, Batman Beyond is different from the Spider-Verse. It's a different thing.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I do. Yeah,
And that's what I love about
get
go ahead.
get some top people and make that movie. Like, because
Yeah, I know. I'm dying for Beyond. But that's also what I love about the upcoming dynamic duo is that I think Swaybox is the team. Completely unique animation and puppetry and all of that. I mean, they're forging their own path, which I think is the right way to go. And if the Spider-Verse people are passionate about Beyond and want to tell that story as well, that is a no-brainer right there. But
yeah, I don't think.
Long story short, Beyond live action animated, give it to me. I need Terry McGinnis.
The only thing you would have to find is I don't like, as much as I like. I don't think they'll probably get Michael Keaton to do old Bruce Wayne.
I think that ship has sailed.
Yeah, because he's too old now. At the same time, because it's like it's kind of like he's getting up in age and stuff like that. So I have no clue how old he is at this point.
73. I think he could still do it.
Yeah, I think he still do it. I just don't think he wants to go through all the crap he went through before, right? Where they're saying you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and also they take it away. Which I doubt Gunn would ever do that. But like Ark said, at his age, does he have the patience to deal with that again?
Like, I don't think about. I feel like right now, the focus is the DCU. So I feel like right now, Batman Beyond film probably isn't in the cards right now, because the one thing I think James Gunn talks about is he wants to also fix the brand and also fix DC animation as a whole too. Like, no matter, because it's like, as much as I like certain animation movies and stuff like that, it has not been the greatest. I would say it's better than Marvel animation. That's a sense of like what at different styles and stuff like that. But it's like you also want to bring it to the golden age in a sense of like the reputation of DC animation in a sense. And you also want to fix the reputation of DC games as well. That's kind of right now it's not good.
It's not looking good, no.
Like, I know I heard that the Wonder Woman game is supposed to come out in 2026, and that's good. It's coming out there, but it's like I didn't expect it. To be honest, I don't think it was ever gonna come out in 2025. Didn't the Wolverine game get delayed too?
I
I
wish
believe
I could
so.
tell you. I'm so excited for that game. I have no idea when that's happening. The Game Awards are tonight, so who knows? But
Yeah. Who
Yeah.
knows? But they did say there is gonna be, like, I don't know. I saw some reliable sources. I think it was Jason Schreier. He's the one that does animation. Um, uh, he said there's gonna be certain Marvel and DC stuff.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's
very interested on what they have to reveal, if anything. But with all that being said, guys, that episode awaits us. So I will be sending the Google Meet link, and we'll get this started.
And just one fun fact: James Gunn's top artist on Spotify for the second year in a row is Foxy Shazam.
Okay,
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
I'm glad you
can
told
never
me.
share his Spotify Wrapped because it always has music from playlists that he's been playing for his movies. So he's got like loads of music from Peacemaker 2 and Superman and stuff, which he can't give away. So he can never give away Spotify Wrapped, but that's his top artist. So
when I click on the link and I watch it, it's not going to incense and echo out of my mic or no. I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
When you enter the Google Meet link, just make sure that your mic is muted.
I'll mute it on there and not here. Okay,
Yeah. It's cool on StreamYard. Just to make sure it's muted on the actual Meet, because there will be an echo. Other than that, you should be good.
Okay. That makes more sense now. Now I could talk in here more.
okay.
Right. All we need is JG to join, and we'll be good.
Yeah, I'm oh my bad. I forgot to kick that.
Make sure you turn your microphone off too.
Yeah, remember from last time.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. Episode 3. Let's do this.
I love that logo.
I will glaze it to the end of time. I will never get tired of it.
I know some people say it's too simple, but it's like it makes sense because Superman is the focus.
He's the Godfather.
Damn. God damn. It's wild that the brother voices both of those characters.
I still love this.
I love it, man. He's looking for Nazis. Oh my god.
Yeah, you know who that is, right?
Yeah, I do.
Oh
These
yeah.
tracks are crazy, man. Wow, man, I love that.
Interesting.
Save the princess.
Nerdman, I see you in the
Right?
chat. If you want to join and talk about this episode after we're
Please
done,
no.
you're more than welcome to.
Please
Unless
no.
JG says otherwise. My bad, my bad.
No, you're good, man. He's good.
What were you talking about?
I know the beef is real, so.
Man forgot to let go of the room. That.
Nice. Very nice.
Damn.
That's Michael Rooker.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
That's Sam.
Wow.
Oh, that's really cool, man.
Okay.
I thought it was a wig at first.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but it's a cat. Kind of giving me a little bit of a father and son relationship with this.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this what I think it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Of like what's
Yeah.
right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
James Gunn gives no F's.
Bro's in shock.
I'm guessing he killed all of them.
Oh yeah, he saw the swastika. And just
Wow.
but technically,
Man, so
Cookie
happy.
Walker. Oh my god.
His face.
It's the music that makes it as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh.
Ah.
You see that? See that? Damn.
I didn't see that. Actually.
Oh, wow.
Damn. Oh.
Damn. Damn.
Oh. Oh my god.
Holy shit!
Shit. That is brutal to watch. Ah. Damn.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, that's.
So let me pause this and let's get ready to talk about it. This comment is hilarious. The robot should be programmed to arrest MCU fans who come out at night. I was watching the episode and I just casually look over to the StreamYard and I see that. That was great.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
All right, so episode 3. That was episode 3. I think it's another fun addition to the series. It's very GI robot centric, as we anticipated. We start out the episode with, pretty big deal with Sergeant Rock and the Easy Company being introduced into the DCU, which is incredibly relevant because, of course, we've heard that. How do you pronounce his last name? Luca Guadagnino, something like that. Director of Challengers.
I think so.
He's going to be directing Sergeant Rock with
Hmm.
potentially Daniel Craig to star. Obviously, that wasn't
Wow.
Daniel Craig, but they're laying the foundation, which I think was very cool.
You, Craig. I think that would be cool. I can see the vision.
I see it. They announced
Yeah,
his
I
name,
see
and
it.
I was like, very, very quickly, I was like, yeah, I see that, and I like that a lot. And so, I'm not this massive Sergeant Rock fan, but I've read Sergeant Rock. I like the character, and seeing that, opening flashback, seeing him talk about, Sure Shot and all these things, I'm like, wow, this is slowly becoming a reality, which is very cool. And when that Sergeant Rock movie happens, it's going to be very interesting to see the connections. Maybe we get a live action GI Robot cameo.
Yeah, that'd be
which-
awesome.
Yeah, you just love the connectivity. And then we move into Metal Men. Metal Men
Mhm.
setup, which
Yeah.
is like,
That's
wow.
really interesting because James Gunn has talked a lot about how Metal Men was one of the favorite comics he read when he was growing up. And I'm pretty sure that there's been talk about a Metal Men movie as well, hasn't there? So
Yes.
I think that may be one of the 4 projects he's deciding between at the moment.
There's
might be-
probably a lot of projects that he hasn't announced, but it's
yeah,
probably...
he said he's got like 4 projects that he's deciding about which one to write and direct next. And
Oh, direct next. Okay.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
write and direct, and I think that's one of them.
I definitely think that's one of them. No one is a Sergeant Rock fan. Daniel Craig is too big for that role. I can join. Oh God! All right, are you guys ready?
Oh my goodness.
Prepare.
Who have we got? Who's this coming up?
Nerd Man.
It's
Hot takes.
bald
Oh
head.
no. I gotta have a big ass head.
About to be an 8-hour stream, everybody.
Here we go.
All right, get your blankets. Get
Yep.
everything going.
I need some alcohol. That's why I need.
Oh God!
I need some laudanum or something. Anything to numb all this.
Yeah.
I understand.
Give me some cocaine.
Yeah, sniff that cocaine. Well,
I'm sure Nerdman has some. Don't worry.
No, he sniffed urinal. I'm not into that.
No, he's secretly a drug dealer. That's will give you some.
So as we wait, Nerdman, I'll finish my thought on Metal Men. Again, I love the connectivity already. Off the bat, we're getting connections. I definitely think James Gunn is thinking about writing and directing that. I could see it being animated, to be honest with you. I don't know if it would be live action. That's the natural question, but I mean, if James Gunn decides to tackle it, it's going to be live action.
What Middleman?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally gonna be live action. I do think it's like, I think certain projects will be in animation as well, because he wants the 4 of being mixed between both animation, both live action and animation, because he wants like both to shine. And that makes sense, because it's like I am excited about that project that was announced. What was that project? And that was announced yesterday, right? A DC project that was greenlit.
Clayface.
Oh, that is it. I think that's gonna be Black Label, basically like the Batman.
Yeah, it's uncertain, but I'm very, very curious because with Mike Flanagan helming that's awesome. I'm super excited for that.
And it also helps the DC Elseworlds, because we can all forget about the tragedy that happened this year with Joker.
What movie was that? I'd never heard about that movie.
Joker? There's only one. What are you talking about?
Only one movie in that.
Yeah. There's only one. What are you talking about? I never heard of this secret sequel. I don't know.
Sounds like a pretty disappointing reality to live in.
Yeah.
Thank God we don't live in that. Nerdman.
The Joker. No, that doesn't exist. You're right. I was just about to criticize a movie that
doesn't exist. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. We're in a different
I need my
reality.
meds.
In the Superwise universe, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
How you doing, Nerdman?
I'm all right, man. I really like this episode. I'm starting to think, he should just scrap all this Superman, Wonder Woman stuff. Scrap it all and just do Sergeant Rock and Mudman, Man, DCU.
Any comment? Anybody want to tackle that?
I think James Gunn wants to introduce people to the wider DCU, not just the characters that everyone knows, because like everyone knows Superman, everyone knows Batman, everyone knows Wonder Woman, people know Supergirl.
They barely had any movies,
all of that. People know those characters exist. There's like an awareness of those characters that's already.
Yeah, like The one
Like,
thing I appreciate with James Gunn is it's like he doesn't want to just do the Trinity of like the Justice League and everything like that. Because it's like, yes, we're getting a Superman movie, yes, we're getting a Batman movie, we'll probably get a Wonder Woman movie, and then we're getting a Green Lantern project, and then etc. etc. But you want also the other characters that have never seen their shine light, that have been so underutilized, that never gotten a animation or live action project, and you want to get the audience to like those characters as much as people like them in the comic books as well. So it's like that's what James Gunn is trying to do. Of course, you want to like the main characters, but you also want to like other characters that have never gotten a chance to be introduced, either live action or animation.
There's
yeah,
a reason they haven't been introduced, though, isn't there? I mean, they don't have like a proper lore. Like DC Comics hasn't really put out a Booster Gold. Like,
I feel like that's a very untrue statement. Like just because they haven't been introduced doesn't mean they have the proper lore. That I kind of feel like that's just bullshit,
Dude.
because you're just talking out of your ass with that now.
Get him, Arkham.
I will not take that
Get him.
personally.
Get him,
I have
Arkham.
Wait a
I have
second.
Stream was at a 5. Now it's at a 10. We have
Let
reached
me
critical.
respond to that.
I have
I'm
this.
not talking out of my ass. Some of the main characters of DC don't have like a steady lore because DC has been focused on Batman and Superman for years. It's only recently that like even you know the big three, or the like some of the main Justice League have like proper like established origins and stuff like that. Like Flash, that whole thing with his mom getting killed and all of that stuff is a recent addition to his lore. So it's not just, I'm not just talking about like small characters. I'm talking about big characters that don't have like, haven't had their stories fleshed out because DC has been in the Batman, Superman business. So yes, it will be good for someone like Booster Gold to maybe get a TV show or whatever he's going to do with him, because he can actually flesh out his lore and he can actually like give him good villains perhaps, or whatever. But who's Booster Gold's Joker? Tell me.
What?
Who's Booster Gold's arch nemesis? Who's his girlfriend? Who's his supporting cast?
I think the thing is like these characters.
Certain characters, like I'll view it like this.
Because I'm
Certain
talking out my ass. Go on, tell me though.
Certain characters,
You've broken Nerd Man. What have you done?
like, this is how I view it. Certain characters really don't need an arch nemesis, to be honest.
Oh, so they don't have a look.
No, they don't. Not all.
don't.
It depends on how the character is written.
Oh, because I'm talking out my ass. Yeah.
Like, just because
Oh, no.
Booster Gold doesn't have an arch nemesis doesn't mean he's a bad character, or you can't explore the character.
I didn't say that.
But it's like certain characters can have arch nemesis or like villains and stuff like that, and certain characters don't. Because it's like it's just how they're written and stuff like that. But it's like that doesn't mean those characters are per se bad. Like, yes, Batman has Joker. Yes, Superman has Lex Luthor.
Yeah, but what it
Wonder
means-
Woman has Ares or
Peter
or
or
Cersei or whatever. And then like you have other characters that have their arch nemesis. But it just depends how the character is told. Because if the character is, say, for example, the Teen Titans. The Teen Titans, they, in a sense, they're Batman. You have like Deathstroke, that's kind of like a Batman villain, but it's like in a
not
sense.
Batman villain. But anyway.
Like Deathstroke is an everyone villain, like basically, not just Batman villain. Because he went against Superman and
He's
stuff
Teen
like that.
Titans villain. But
But
anyway,
it's
yeah.
like what I'm trying to say is depend on the character. It's either they'll have arch nemesis or not, and some of the characters will use the same characters from other lore.
Look, my original point, and then I'll leave this because I think you've exposed yourself. It wasn't even, I didn't even have to say anything, but like my original point was that I think it's actually good that he's exploring some of these characters, but maybe you want to do that stuff in TV shows or in animation as opposed to taking the spot from characters who you say like, oh, like Wonder Woman and like all of these, they really haven't had their time to shine. They've had like 2 movies. Flash has 1 movie. You know what I'm saying? Like these characters need to be developed and put out there way before you start putting out Booster Gold as a film. But I'd like to see that kind of stuff in animation and all of
Booster
that.
Gold is in film.
I know those guys, they do have their fans. You know, somebody watched an episode of Justice League and thought, "Oh wow, Booster Gold's funny." You know, like, and so he has his fans, but he's not a character who has like really deep lore because he hasn't had a comic book, and that's DC's fault.
What are you talking about? He has comic books.
He
I
has.
think what Nerdman's probably trying to say is you have your side A characters, you have your side B characters, right? The side A's would be the Supermans, the Batmans, the Wonder Womans, the Flashes. You know, the top of like the top tier people, right? The B sides would be maybe a Booster Gold, right? Or maybe a Green Arrow would be considered B side for me. Maybe not for you, anybody, but for me.
Yeah.
The question, like those guys, like I would rather see those type of characters in animation. Because I don't think
that explains
fan,
more.
Why can I say something?
Green Lantern has Green Arrow.
Yeah,
has
Green Arrow has his thing, but I'm saying personally for me, I would prefer to see him animation. Unless you're fitting him in live action with a Batman or somebody like that. Like when you have those B side characters, you have to put them together with an A side person because the average person doesn't know who these people are. Like for instance, we're talking about the Authority. For me, I would rather see the Authority in animation because they do so much like dirty stuff. Animation can do whatever you want. You can explore whatever you want, right? You're not really restricted. So I would like to see those guys in animation. You put them in live action, much like what happened with MC with the Eternals, even though it was a bad movie. The Eternals, like nobody knew who they were. Like who are they in the grand scheme of things, right? We still don't really know if you're an average fan. So of course it's going to do bad. You're wasting time if you put those in live action, as opposed to putting them in animation where you can just do whatever you want and just have fun with it.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. You don't want every per se like this. This is how I view it. Say for example, other characters that are very popular that it's like you have your fan base, but still haven't gotten the shine light. You want to kind of introduce those characters. So say for example, I know this is Batman centric, but it's like Nightwing. You do want Nightwing. I don't care what.
Yeah.
Like Nightwing deserves a movie. Like he has good lore. He has good villains.
I agree with you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna find.
Yeah, but see, for me, he would be an A tier character.
But like, my point is, I wouldn't want per se a Nightwing movie to be in a sense animation. Like, I'm not saying animation is bad, but it's like something like Nightwing. Like I've been waiting. Like as a Batman fan, as a Bat Family fan, I feel like he deserves the live action spot. Like there's so much lore within the character that's like ridiculous that he has never gotten his own movie.
I don't think it's ridiculous he hasn't got his own movie, but I think he would be a worthier person to do a movie on than like Booster Gold. You know,
But what
fucking.
I was
But
saying,
just to go off what JG said, like just really quickly, you know, characters like Green Arrow do have lore. They've had their, you know, they've had enough like graphic novels and stuff like that, like, and I think even the Green Arrow's had like really long comic runs. I don't know if they're currently doing him or stuff like that, but
yeah, he still has a current run.
Oh, he still does. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So there's, you know, he's got his villains, he's got his city, you know, Emerald City or something like that, I think it is. He's got all of that kind of stuff. So you can literally just take the comics and like kind of, you know, do a movie based on like some comics or like characters like The Question. You know, he's had like really
I do agree with
comics.
that. Like Green Arrow, I do think is another character I would like.
But I was just gonna say that James Gunn is picking like, I don't think he's like looking at it as, oh, these guys have really great comics. He's just picking wacky characters.
No,
you know, like Sergeant Rock is good because there's an established comic that you can base it on. But there's a lot of stuff that he's doing where it's just like, oh, this one looks quirky and wacky. You know, he's like a kind of James Gunny kind of character. Let's do him. You know,
I don't know if that's
happening at all. Like, I think like James Gunn is not picking projects based on the characters he liked. He's picking projects based on when he gets scripts. Like he wants to do a Batman project, but he's not going to do it until he has a script that he's happy with. As in, he's not going to do a.
That's true. There is the pitch. That is true.
Yeah, it's like when someone.
I'm pretty sure he wants to
just the characters, dude.
Hold on, let JP finish his thought real quick because he was saying
one of the things people have got to remember is we've just had a Flash movie. We had a Wonder Woman movie only 2 or 3 years ago, and like people have still got the memory of those characters in that universe. So to come out with a Wonder Woman movie and a Flash movie like
and a Superman and Batman movie, so why are you doing Superman and Batman?
Well, we haven't had a Superman solo movie for like 10 years, right? We haven't had a Supergirl movie since the 80s. We haven't had since the horrible movie that we had, with Ryan Reynolds. So it's not a surprise that those 3 are the first 3 kind of major characters to get projects, like Superman, obviously, because he's the biggest character in the DCU, and you should be always starting with him. Supergirl, because she's a great character, she's a big character, and she's never really had she had one movie in the 80s, but that's all she's had, in terms of movies. And then the Lantern show, like, I think the Lantern show could then build towards a Green Lantern's core movie, where you could really go into the whole lore of the Green Lanterns. It could be headed by John Stewart, possibly, but like you could really explore the full depth of the Green Lantern core, which has got a lot of history, right? That would be a good move.
I get what you're saying. I really do. There's no justification for not having a Wonder Woman movie.
You have to understand from a point of view on the reputation, how the characters work.
I don't care about the reputation. She's an
you're thinking of it as a $800 million movie. You're thinking of it as a wrong point of view. You're thinking of it as you have to also have to think of it as a business standpoint too. Like,
what business standpoint?
You have to think of it this way.
Her last movie did well, considering it was during COVID. It did actually quite well, and her first movie beat both Superman and Batman's last movie in box office.
The second movie did
There's
pretty
no
terrible.
justification. It was a terrible movie. I'm not denying that. It didn't do terribly considering it came out during COVID.
Yeah, it came out
it was the height of COVID. You don't remember that?
I'm pretty sure that.
Yes, I remember COVID.
They're doing Paradise Lost, aren't they? They're doing Paradise Lost,
Yeah.
And that, I reckon that will probably lead up to the Supergirl movie, Supergirl movie, the Wonder Woman movie, because they will do one. There's no doubt about it. They will do one. It's just they're not going to do it like right at the start. They're not going to like blow their wad, I suppose, right at the beginning. You know, they'll do it. I mean, they're going to do a Superman movie. They're probably going to do it. They're doing a Supergirl movie. They'll do a Batman movie, and they will do a Wonder Woman movie. I'm absolutely certain of it.
And they'll
She's
do
still-
Flash
No,
movie. It's
I'm not suggesting they're never going to do a Wonder Woman movie. I'm suggesting that it should be a priority. He should be taking pitches for a Wonder Woman movie, right? Like it's not about like.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's waiting for the right pitch. You know, maybe
What
something.
waiting for the right pitch? You get a writing team together, and you say, "All right, like we want a Wonder Woman movie. Pitch me, like get together and pitch me a Wonder Woman movie."
But it
That's
has to be written well. You don't want to just put out a bad Wonder Woman script. Like he has to read he has to read it.
That's what I just said.
Well, let me finish. He has to read the script and actually because he wants high quality products. He wants a high quality in like animations and movies, or if you TV shows too. But like you don't want to do a half. You don't want James Gunn.
What would you say if he wasn't doing a Batman movie to begin with?
What?
If he was starting this universe without, because you're Arkham, right? And he's starting this universe without doing a Batman movie, what would you say?
He is. He is doing a Batman movie.
He is doing a
He's
Batman.
speaking hypothetically if he wasn't doing it.
Thank you, JG. Right.
He is.
Can't believe I'm siding with him right now.
Look at
I always will have the Batman universe, so there's that.
I mean, Batman's had so many movies, though. Like, come on. I mean, we've had Batman's been very lucky in terms of the directors and writers that he's had. You know, both in animation and on screen. Like, you know, there is an argument for like we've had a lot of Batman. It's not like people are dying for waiting for like 20 years or 10 years for a solo Batman movie. You know, or we haven't ever had a great Batman movie.
So again, what if he was doing a Superman movie? Would you be all right with that?
No, I wouldn't.
Just doing a Wonder Woman and a Batman movie.
I mean, I recognize, like at the beginning, Superman is like you've got to build is the character you build around in DC. Like he was the foundation stone of DC Comics. So
They're all the foundation. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Came after Batman and Superman, but she's the third person in the Trinity, the DC Trinity. So yeah, she should get a movie, and she will. I'm pretty sure she will. But just not doing it yet.
5 years.
Yeah, I mean, I love Wonder Woman.
Probably a story standpoint too. It's like they're waiting. Yes, you will get a Wonder Woman movie. It's just not right now, probably because of what type of story they're trying to lead into the character. Like you have flashbacks, you have Cersei in this, and you probably have a lead up to, like, of course you're gonna have that Themyscira show. Then it'll probably lead into a movie. Like, it's not like you're never going to get a Wonder Woman movie, to be honest.
Okay.
And to be honest, the reason why Superman is the first one to get a movie is because he's the face of DC. And the reason why Batman is another one that gets another DCU project is because he's the most popular one as well. So they're gonna pick those characters more on technically a priority than
why is he the most popular?
Because of very well done stories.
Because of very well done movies. Because they
made the most money too.
Look, the point is, what you just said, you were like, oh, the reason Superman's getting a movie is because he's the face of DC. The reason Batman's getting it's like they're the Trinity, dude. And anyway, we've gone on about this for too long. I don't really like care that much. It's like
I almost forgot about the episode.
I think they should start with the Trinity. That was my whole point. I'm not like trying to like if Batman wasn't getting a movie in this universe, like in the beginning, I'd be like, why isn't he getting a movie? If Superman wasn't getting a movie, I'd be like, why isn't he getting a movie? I don't understand why when it's Wonder Woman, it's like, oh well, she's just the third one and da 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 da. No, she's like the fucking leader of the fucking Justice League. She's one of the leaders of the Justice League.
Yeah, and she will appear. The fact that we've had the Scara, we've had
People don't
Cersei,
respect her.
we're getting that series, so they're building up to it. They're definitely building up to a Wonder Woman movie. I don't think, to me, that's always going to happen. I've always never been worried about whether we'll get that movie or not, because I know we will. They'll just wait because we've only just had a Wonder Woman movie like 3 years ago, and they think like if they have two different actresses playing Wonder Woman in two different
And
universes,
the last Wonder Woman movie. That's why. That's why.
for audiences, isn't it? Like that's probably what James Gunn is thinking.
Yeah. But the specific reason you need a Wonder Woman movie is because the last one was so bad. They need to restore her reputation.
Well, that's what I said after Man of Steel, and I've waited 10 years, 12 years, like for Superman.
We all gotta suffer, people.
Like, so I've suffered for 40 years, really, since Superman: The Quest for Peace, or Superman 3, Superman 2, even. Like I had to wait for a great Superman movie.
You just have to suffer a little bit, nerd man, then you'll get it.
Well,
But
some people don't have enough time on Earth to be suffering for this long, right? Nerman's like, I need my Wonder Woman now. But I think with Gunn, because the Justice League is already established in this universe already, right? They're already here.
No, James Gunn said it's not. It doesn't exist yet.
It
Yeah.
doesn't.
No, it does not
No, it
exist.
Hey, what the hell is he doing?
What?
But I think the Justice Society of America may have existed.
Okay, so
Maybe.
Justice Society existed, right?
I think so. That's my personal view. Because
Like it's gotta start with Superman and build up to the Justice League.
So how freaking long has Superman been around before Justice League was even made? If you're gonna do a
The Justice
fantastical
League of
Batman
America?
if you're gonna do a fantastical Batman, right, with his like what fourth, fifth Robin, this Justice League should have already been here already.
there you go.
This is why I think
The
the,
Now
Right.
I'm really seeing what Nerdman is talking about. I'm really seeing it more and more because
Here's
if Superman's been around for this long already with crypto and all this stuff going on, right? If Batman is with his fourth, fifth Robin already, and Nightwing's already around and all this stuff, we're assuming he's around. Whatever's going to happen, Justice League should already be here. Teen Titans should already be here.
Nah, Superman's only like in his. I think Superman's relatively new. Like he's not like been around for years and years. Like
They got action figures of him in a movie. What is going on here?
You have to think of it this
JB, I'm not
way.
disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to get an understanding what Gunn's doing because Nerdman, I told you when he comes in here, he wrecks my brain because I start thinking.
You have to think of it. You have
okay.
to think of it this way. When it comes to, I guess continuity wise, each like in the comics, it's always different. So it's like Batman has the Bat family, and Superman has Supergirl and Krypto, but the Justice League hasn't been formed yet. It depends on how it's told. Some would be, some is where Batman has the Bat family, Superman has Krypto, and you have the Justice League. Others are different. It depends on it just all depends because sometimes they want Batman have the Bat family and Superman just starting out and slowly building the Justice League. You have to think of it this way.
Yeah, where's
my
Superwhite?
view on this whole thing is like, James Gunn has said that the universe has been around for a while. Superheroes have been around for a while, and it's got to the point where people are kind of getting sick of superheroes. Or superheroes are a problem, right? Now we've already seen like Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl and like other characters who are in Superman who are in Maxwell Lord's suit, right? So my theory is that like in this universe, you used to have the Justice Society who were all proper heroes, right? And that was like decades ago. And now it's got to the point where superheroes have become more corporate and more part of the establishment, and you've got rich people like Max Lord, like basically creating this superhero team which he pays for, and they're all like media personalities, and what's being a hero has been lost. So people like Batman's like stopped trying to work with other people, and he's just going back to Gotham and doing his thing. Wonder Woman's around, but again, she's not like out in public anymore because of way superheroes have become. Like, and Superman comes along, and he's like relatively new on the scene, and he doesn't sign up for this. He doesn't like maybe there's a scene in the Superman movie where Max Lord invites him to join their team and become one of their corporate heroes, and he just says no because he can't be bought. He's he's just a hero. He wants to help people. He wants to save people like a proper hero. And Superman shows what a hero actually is and what hero can actually be, and it's not what people have got used to, or this kind of corporate superhero thing that is now what it's become, right? And maybe some of these people that work for Maxwell Lord kind of ditch their corporate costumes and just become proper heroes again as a result of what Superman does, right? And then like after this movie, then you have Batman notices that Superman can't be bought, that he's not like all the other heroes, and that maybe he's somebody you can work with, right? And maybe you have like Hal Jordan as well, used to be one of those heroes, and now is like again become a bit more cynical about superheroes because of what they've become. And then John Stewart comes on the scene and gets trained in all that, and he becomes a proper hero, and they all get inspired by Superman, and they kind of start bringing together the Justice League as kind of this new team of proper heroes rather than what superheroes have become, right? I think that's
if they do that, then I'm excited.
I think that's what they're doing. Doing, and I think like if they did a World's Finest movie, it could be where Batman and Superman are working together, but also in the background they're kind of bringing together these other heroes to form the Justice League, right? And then you have a Justice League movie. That's my theory, right? That's the bigger picture theory that I have. That's what I think is going to happen in Superman. Like you're going to have Superman, like, because remember that screenshot from set. You had Superman with all these kids, right? And you had the other heroes who were like going to the crowd and signing signatures or whatever, or getting photos for their Instagram or whatever. But Superman doesn't care about any of that. He's just going to meet kids that he just saved, maybe, like, because all he cares about is helping people, and that's a contrast between Superman and the rest of them. And
I get all of this, and I think that's a way to start the DCU. And but Superwise, where are you?
Oh,
he's laughing at us in the background,
I fell
man.
asleep. We're on stream right now.
I was like, "What? This is your stream, right?"
I've been listening intensely, and I think I'm glad that everyone has said their piece, because there's a lot on the table.
No?
Was that?
Oh no, go on. There's a lot of people.
Yeah. But I think there's truth to what everyone's saying. You are blasphemous, but you're not completely deranged. So I do understand your point about certain heroes deserve priority over others. Because truth be told, I'm not super excited for Paradise Lost, because I want to see Wonder Woman. Like, if we're established with Superman and Batman and stuff like that, I want to just get Wonder Woman right off the bat. But I also understand that there's world building that you got to do and stuff like that. It's very much wait and see with me, because if Metal Man performs well at the box office, if people actually show up, if people show up for Sergeant Rock, if people are responding well, and it's helping the DC brand, I gotta just sit back and be like, this is good. This is no more flops, please, no more flops. But it really is all dependent on Superman, the reception, the performance, because it's very much not like the MCU. It's not super unified and straightforward. It's very much like the Star Wars timeline, all over the place, different time periods and stuff like that. So I'm very curious on if that works. If people are like, yeah, this is the connected universe, I'm going to show up for each and every project. Because I think that's very important, that you got to build consumer trust. You got to rebuild what the DCEU just absolutely destroyed, just wrecked. I
mean, the only thing I was saying is, obviously he's choosing these projects, right? Like, yes, that he's waiting for good scripts. Yes, he's having people pitch to him, but he's saying, "This is the character I'm interested in. Come and give me a pitch for this." You know, like for this specific thing. And I appreciate like that he's going for these key characters, but it is kind of in his wheelhouse. That's what he likes to do, and perhaps, you know, DC fans have been waiting for an established universe that is starring the main characters of the DC universe first before all of these quirky characters, you know, like so I don't know, maybe it will be box office gold. Maybe that's you know, he'll hit upon something, but I don't looking from the outside, I don't really understand like why you're going with the quirky characters. Like this show's okay, you know, it's not bad so far.
I mean,
right?
I think it all stems on Superman for right now. It's like I think at the end of the day, for me, or I think a lot of people, you just want good DC projects that perform well. Like I don't want
just good DC projects that perform well. I want my characters. Like
I think like the next
DC character. I'm a DC fan because of the main characters.
3 of the next 4 projects from the DC Studios are Superman movie, Lantern, and Supergirl. That's 3 big characters, right? I think 3 of the historical characters that we want. I mean, I wanted a Supergirl movie. I'm ecstatic we're getting Woman of Tomorrow as a movie.
Yeah,
and I love Green Lantern. I've been waiting for
what are the next 3
thing for ages. So we've got 3 of the first 5 projects are, you know, are big characters. These big DC characters. So they're getting ignored.
He's asking what other projects?
What other projects? Well, I suspect by the time some of those come out, we'll get news on The Brave and the Bold. We'll probably get. I think we're going to get a Teen Titans movie, and to me, that's a top tier team. I think that's a really good. That's got characters
like S tier. Like I really like the Teen Titans.
S tier, yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, there's also. I just want to say because there's a lot of speculation starting from some big accounts on Twitter that. We're definitely getting a Superman trailer next week.
I saw it, dude.
Yeah,
really.
Be at the ready.
Be
at the ready, my chat. Be at the ready.
Which is what we've been predicting.
Next week?
I love the way you swerved because you knew that I love Superman, so you're just Superman trailer.
I love Superman, dude.
Swerve is the issue, bro.
I mean,
like Metal Man, who like Superman? Oh wow!
I've been a Superman fan for 3 years, man.
I mean, a lot of people like Superman, so it's like, why wouldn't you be?
You know, Superman's my favorite superhero, right?
Yeah, he's my favorite too. Like, he's the best. I love.
He's my favorite.
It's Shazam for me.
I think everyone.
Wait.
If you don't like Superman, there's something wrong with you.
I didn't say I don't like it. I didn't like him. I didn't say that. I said my favorite DC superhero is Shazam.
I respect it. I do.
People don't like Superman.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I thought you said eh.
No. I was saying my favorite DC hero is Shazam. Flash is Superman.
Shazam's pretty cool. Shazam's pretty cool. I like Shazam as well.
Pretty cool.
Like, I mean,
pretty cool.
I'll disclose this.
You will whoop Superman's ass any day.
When I was,
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you, man. Go ahead.
I was so bored during lockdown that I planned out
my favorite is.
Batman.
Batman's my favorite.
If we're airing out grievances, where's my Wonder Woman project? Where's my Shazam project? Okay, I want that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I think James Gunn likes Shazam as well. He's talked very fondly of Shazam.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's not going to do it. I'm impatient because I love Shazam. I understand Nerdman being like, I that's 1/3 of the Trinity. Like I need that.
Mm-hmm.
I get
like, it's not like I disagree in a sense. It's not like I disagree. I do understand where he's coming from. It's just I think it's all about patience. Like I understand. Like I'm a very impatient person too. I want that Brave and the Bold Bat Family. Like I've been waiting years for a Bat Family movie. Like I love Batman, but I am getting kind of sick of the like Batman where he's just by his own and stuff like that. I would prefer see Nightwing, Red Hood. Like even though I'm not a big fan of Tim Drake's Robin, like I want to see
I
them.
think the difference between me and you guys is I'm pushing 40. Yeah. You guys are like in your 20s. You've got like
that's true.
I'm a young lad. I got years ahead.
How old I am, though, man.
Maybe you'll be able to watch it.
Yeah, that's what I said, man. Some people have patience and time to waiting 10 years, 20 years for these movies.
I was gonna make that joke, but I'm not that harsh. But you made it first, so
I understand. Like you're getting older, and you kind of want it before you get to 80 years old.
No, but I'm older than you.
Till you're 90.
I'm older than you. I'm closer to 50 than 40. I watched Superman. I saw Superman 4 in the cinema, like when it came out. I saw Batman 89 in the cinema.
Good thing I'm young.
I first watched Superman the movie on TV when I was like 4 years old. So I've waited a long time for this, like my entire life, pretty much. Like Superman the movie started shooting about 2 weeks after I was born. So that's how old I am. Okay. So I'm impatient as well, Nerd Man. Like I'm impatient for a Superman movie and a proper Superman trilogy. Like
No, I know. It's
I don't want just one Superman movie. I want a proper solo trilogy. Like, and I'm going to kick off if that doesn't happen because he deserves it. Like,
No. But I'm telling you, it's absurd that we haven't had Brainiac. It's absurd that
it is. I agree. The next Superman movie has to have Brainiac. Like that's not even a debate. That he has to be the villain of the next Superman movie.
I mean, we already debated this last week, I think, or talked about it. Not debated. We talked about it. Like why Brainiac probably wouldn't be the best first villain, but like honestly, I wouldn't have minded just the Superman versus Brainiac movie to start off with. But
I'd have been okay with that. I would have been okay with that. Yeah.
But
and we keep getting promised it, and then it never happens.
Like, also Parasite. Like all of those.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Parasite. That's a good.
Do we even know the villain of
Superman villain?
Do we even know who the villain of Superman is?
No, we don't.
So like,
Lex Luthor. Yeah.
He kind of said the main villain of Superman is Lex Luthor. Like, and he said it about 3 times. And he said that.
No, you're right.
He said the movie centers around Clark, Lois, and Lex. They're the 3 main characters in the movie.
So that technically it would be Bizarro.
Yeah, Ultraman, Bizarro kind of thing. I think that we might get that in the movie. Yeah,
right.
Lex's creation. Like,
I wouldn't. I don't have an issue with that. Like Bizarro versus Superman live action. I don't think we saw that.
That'd be cool. I mean, like, whether it's Ultraman or Bizarro, it doesn't matter. Like, if you've got Superman fighting someone like that.
Well, Ultraman will be kind of weird because, like, he's supposed to come from an alternate universe, and I kind of like that.
I think it's. This is how I view. I think it's like Lex Luthor makes a clone of Superman, but he calls it Ultraman. But it's like but it's like kind of like the name is probably changed throughout the movie, and it's like he's called Bizarro or something. Like he calls himself Bizarro or something like that. But it's like I think it's just I think it's like a code name. You know, when you make I don't know clone or something like that, they have these type of code names. And it's like he called his new creation Ultraman or something. Okay. But I don't think it's the real Ultraman. It's just a code name what Lex Luthor calls the clone.
Yeah. I mean,
like
I get it. Look, I get it. As I said, this show's okay. It's not, it's not setting my world on fire or whatever, but like at least we're getting Superman next year. So
you probably would love Downtown Abbey, you dry mother.
JG, you just admit your favorite superhero is Shaq. It's Shaq, right?
Nerdman, I saw your Agatha All Along review. I didn't think you would enjoy it that much, especially considering your thoughts on the MCU.
What?
is he talking about?
And he goes on the OC and talk trash about me.
Nerdman, don't you like the MCU?
I know it's a
What?
lie.
He talks
but-
trash about me everywhere he goes. Oh, yeah,
seen
fake
Agatha
DC
all
fan.
along.
And this guy enjoyed Agatha all along.
Wait. I've never even seen Agatha all along. What? Who's this?
Don't
Oh,
watch it.
Are you sure? Like,
I don't believe you. I don't believe you,
Caruso's
Nerdman.
saying otherwise. You saw it.
I don't know what he's talking
The
about.
stutter tells everything. The stutter
I'm
says
sure,
everything.
I'm sure
Man's
it's
trying
another
to
great.
trying to hide his love for the MCU.
I'm sure it's another great piece of MCU.
You've been outed yet again. You've been outed.
Oh man, that was hard, dude. It was hard to watch that week to week. I
didn't get out to the first
myself
episode, bro. I'm honest.
Oh, it was
Wait a
rough.
minute, you watched it? I never watched
I
it at
saw the
all.
first
Yo,
episode. I said, I
saw it
can't.
through
I
the
can't.
end, dude.
I want it on record that Superwise is admitting that Creature Commandos is a waste of time.
Wait, what?
Creature Commandos is not a waste of time.
It's an appetizer.
The first taste of the DC is Superman. So Creature Commandos is like
It's an appetizer, nerd man.
an
I
appetizer.
will send the MCU fans after you, bro. Don't mess with
No,
me.
so think of it this way: you have a big slice of pizza. You eat that pizza, and you want some more dessert. That's like
Nerdman's
this is-
lactose intolerant.
What? Like to me, like Superman is basically the big piece of pie. Creature Commandos is like the I don't know, dessert.
It's like
But
I'm not sure I'm following.
but
I don't get it.
tastes pretty good. But what I mean is, quality wise, it's like in sense, both quality wise, they're both good. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm
Like
saying
some
the pie
of my
dessert.
friends
What?
use the food reference, and I tried it, and it didn't go very
It
well.
didn't come off, man. I think you.
Yeah, you said pie and dessert. They're both desserts. I'm lost.
Yeah.
Which dessert is better?
But I think Creature Command. I think this episode was pretty good. I do think I did like the flashbacks. I am interested in more development when it comes to Cersei, because what?
Yeah.
And maybe it's just me. I kind of see maybe because of course he's gonna get repaired and stuff like that. Like he's not dead. But this is a theory. Remember in the episode we saw the creator of Metal Man and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm. Will Magnus.
Yeah. I don't know if he's I don't know what kind of time period that took place in, because I don't know how old he is in the present.
I would say World War II, maybe, because it's fighting Nazis and stuff. So
Yeah, it's pretty old now.
yeah.
So be pretty old. My guess is maybe possibly he will repair GI Robot. That's my guess. And
You know, I reckon GI Robot would have been way better and more relevant and more of a how would you say, like I think he would have been more of an interesting character if he was fighting a more modern war. And it was like, oh, I have to kill the gooks, or the I don't say that word. I'm just saying, like, you know, Vietnamese.
yeah, you can't say that word.
You can't say that word, nerd man. God.
No,
I
I didn't. That was in the universe that Joker 2 exists. Anyway,
no, clipping that out of context would be crazy.
I can understand what you mean.
The fact that he's killing Nazis makes it like, oh, like, of course, like it doesn't make it gray. It's like it's very black and white. Nazis are evil. Kill Nazis. Whereas if it was like Vietnamese, like from the Vietnam War or something more modern, and you're like, wow, you know, he's just slaughtering these people.
like I
even though
kind
he's
of
doing the war and whatever, it would make him a more interesting thing that you could have like a redemption arc for. But as it goes, it's just like, oh, he's killing Nazis, and it's a very old war, so it's like very out of time now, like for
like I
20.
kind of liked it, like when he finds out, oh, these are full of Nazis, like because of his war and everything like that, of killing Nazis. It's like what he felt. It seemed like what he felt like was the right thing, even though, in a sense, like because like
Or
in
commies.
that present time of killing all those Nazis, I feel like that, I guess from the core, like kind of the people's point of view, like he killed a bunch of people and stuff like that, but it's like in a sense, there were still bad guys in a sense. So it's like I kind of understand why he killed those
No,
people.
he would fit in more with this monster mold if it was something else, like if it was communists or yeah, as I said, like I think if it was the Vietnam War or something like that, like, and he's still programmed to kill like Vietnamese agents and stuff like that. It would be more not. My point is a modern war. I'm not talking about Vietnam specifically, but like just a modern war would.
I know what you mean. I was just saying like what I kind of liked about like what you were seeing through the flashbacks and how he was moving forward, because after the war, it's like all he could think about is the war. And it's like then like throughout it he joined without knowing. And he killed a bunch of people. And it's like, how can someone, in a sense, GI robot, in a sense, like go on living life without killing,
without a reason.
without thinking of killing Nazis all the time.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked throughout the flashbacks, and you go throughout time, you kind of see the GI robot kind of struggling with that.
What did you think of it, JG?
I think each episode is very fun. Again, I love the animation. It has that dark humor in it as well.
Yeah.
And brutality.
Yeah, in his backstory, kind of gave me, you guys may not agree, but kind of that Captain America, man at a time, robot at a time kind of thing going on, where
Yes.
Slightly a little bit of Wonder Woman. I know that might be blasphemous for you, nerd man, me saying that, but not in a sense of just at the time period. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's in a guy that buys him. You think he's such a nice guy. Bought him, cleaning him up, trying to get rid of the rust. Then he walks into this place, and I'm not knowing what it is, but all of a sudden I'm like, I see the tattoos, the 8s, and all that stuff, and oh God, I know what this is. Right? And sees a swastika. And he didn't care until he sees a swastika. And then he just starts killing everybody. And it was brutal, but it was great to see. Not promoting death or killing anybody, I'm just saying in general.
Did you find any of the humor like a little bit like coarse? Like
it was very dark, dry humor.
No, but this guy who's like wanting to this princess or whatever was a bit much, wasn't it?
I mean,
the princess. Are you talking about like episode 3 or 2?
Episode 3.
You want
the guy that took her on the shoulder?
Yeah, and it was like spanked her on the ass, and it was just like,
yeah. Like I said, that's that. Not it is. That's that dark. Gunn is a dark person. Right? He tries to be funny. He finds humor in a lot of dark things.
I mean, I think it was a little funny. Like you wanted some of the action.
I mean, you look at what Gunn has done from episode 1. He's throwing in the woke thing. That kind of demographic. He's when we talk about the second episode where Sons of Themyscira, or whatever, talking about they want to go there and do it. Like, we know why you want to go there, right? You want to just word all the women there. We know what you guys want to do, right? So he's throwing that in there, right? It doesn't surprise me that he did it in this episode.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
Thinking maybe a little too much.
It's like low hanging fruit.
It's again, I've always said, like, with a comedian, you can talk about any subject and make it funny, but the more taboo the subject, the funnier the joke has to be.
Yeah.
Right. So that
I think
joke wasn't funny enough for me to be kind of making light of, like, what this guy is basically saying. He wants to, like, this princess or whatever, and, like, you're just like, oh, okay. Right.
I mean, yeah, like, I can understand. I feel like, yeah, it's like, it's very subjective.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. It took me out of it.
Like, I think, yeah, like, I think at the end of the day, it's kind of like subjective when it comes to jokes. Like, some land, for some people, some don't.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it was a pretty good episode. I liked the backstory, Cersei, all the characters.
Let me ask Nerdman, what did you think about Cersei getting her ass handed to her by the weasel?
Yeah, I was about to talk about that. Like, it didn't make sense. Like, at first,
I immediately
the brides give you the
Nerdman's
work,
reaction
now
could
the
be.
weasels give you the work, and Nerdman, go ahead, man. I got to hear you spaz out about it. Go ahead.
Do you want to restore the Snyderverse?
No, I don't want. Well, actually, look, I don't.
What?
I don't want to restore the Snyderverse in the sense of Snyder directing movies, especially after, like, what he did. But I wouldn't mind just a continuation of, like, that Dark Side storyline by a director who's capable. That being said, what can I say? I'm numb to it now. You know, like, whatever. This is supposed to be, like, Wonder Woman's biggest villain, and that's how you're. Whatever, dude. Like, I don't care anymore. It's like Weasel or whatever, so that he can pop up Weasel, because Weasel's going to be, like, this big, massive character, right? Like, if it was going to be, like, this character that, even, like, the Frankenstein woman, who I think in his, like, imagination,
The Bride?
The Bride. In his imagination, he's going to make her as iconic as fucking Batman or whatever the fuck he thinks. Even with that,
I think it's like,
I'm like, oh, okay, well, at least this is, like, a main character that he's trying to establish or something. But, like, Weasel, you're just doing it for a joke. It's just, it doesn't bother me. Like, maybe he's trying to troll people like me or something like that, but it doesn't really bother me.
I don't think that's. I think that's a bit of a wild assumption. Like,
well, sure. Maybe he's not trying to troll. Maybe it's just like that's just how he writes and whatever. But, like, either way, I'm just, like, I'm numb to it. It doesn't really affect me. I'm like,
I view it this way.
Is the show good? That's what I care about. Is the show good? And at the moment, I think it's okay.
But what was I trying to say?
I think, okay.
What I was trying to say is, I don't think it's like he's making the characters iconic. Like, I think in a sense, likable and popular. Like, you're not gonna have, like, Weasel to be, like, as iconic as Superman or Batman or
What if he did that to Bane? Would you be all right with that?
Do what?
Was beating up on Bane. Weasel.
Like, Weasel beating up Bane, you said?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be happy about it.
I mean, Bane is a bigger character.
Like, there's always always criticisms to be had with whatever show, like, the person's viewpoint and stuff like that. Like, I might not like it, or you might not like that certain writing decision. That's okay. Like,
it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like, dude, if he was beating up Black Adam, right? Superwise, right? You'd be thinking, like,
why go after John with that?
I don't know if it was Dwayne. If it was Dwayne Johnson, I wouldn't mind it.
I'm currently
But,
having a
like-
heart attack.
But it's like, I think at the end of the day, it's like when the show's done, you can give your valid criticisms, what you liked and disliked, and it's like,
Will you be
Yeah.
able to take Cersei seriously now as a Wonder Woman villain? Is my point. Like, can you take her? Like, given that she's maybe going to be in Paradise Lost, she's going to be fighting the Amazons, like in a serious show. After watching this, with her drinking beer and burping and doing all of this stupid shit, can you divorce your concept of, because it's a one timeline, right? So would you be able to divorce your knowledge of her from this show to take her seriously in another show? I don't know.
it's not like I couldn't take her seriously. This is how I view when it comes to projects. It's like, there are certain decisions I might not like, and it's like, but doesn't affect in a sense of taking a character not seriously or not. If that's what I mean. It's like, say, like there are certain villains of Batman that I hated how they treated within certain source of animation and media and stuff like that. But even after watching it, it kind of doesn't ruin my viewpoint of the character overall.
I'm not talking about Cersei overall. Obviously, in another continuity, it's fine. I'm not gonna like go, oh, Cersei got beaten up by Weasel in the Gunverse, so I'm gonna read a comic with Cersei in it, and that has nothing to do with the Gunverse, and be like, oh, that's impacting my view of Cersei. I'm talking about within this continuity.
Yeah, I know
So
what you mean. Like
impact.
what I was trying to say is, even in the continuity, it doesn't affect how I view a character. Like, yes, I might
So
not like the
you wouldn't mind the what's an name giving, like the Bride of Frankenstein giving Bane the work, yeah.
like, it's not like what I'm trying to say is, it's not like I wouldn't mind. I might what I'm trying to say is, I might not like it, but it's like when I watch a different project and how the character is, like, say for example, like, I don't know, Bane in, like, I know they're supposedly gonna make a Bane versus what was it? Bane versus what was
Deathstroke.
that? Deathstroke. Yeah, Deathstroke. Sorry, I blanked. Bane versus Deathstroke movie. Say he's not done. Like, there's in a continuity they did in a mission, and he's treated not very well, not written very well. I might not like that decision, but say Bane versus Deathstroke still in the same continuity, and he's written better in there. It doesn't affect how I like the two, even if they're in the same timeline on continuity. My viewpoint changes how the character is written. So
What's happened to you, man? What like, you used to be beautiful, man. Like, you really like, what has happened to you? When did you
What?
become
What?
I think
this
can I say something here?
What am I saying wrong? Like,
I want to say something here.
you're like
It's not-
gun sucking
I'm not really doing that. It's just like, I've watched a lot of DC projects, and this is just coming from a straight point of view that's like,
I'm only kidding, man. I'm kidding.
I'm coming from the point of view, like, there aren't a lot of, like, there are good DC stuff and bad DC stuff, and bad DC decisions and good DC decisions. And what I'm trying to say is,
This is a
I
bad
might
piece.
not I might not like a certain decision on how they, like, say for I'll do your hypothetical thing. Weasel tax and Banks get taken down. I might hate it. I will definitely hate it. That I'm not saying I won't hate it. But if they had another project that has Bane, and it's Bane versus Deathstroke, and he's not per se what was the word, not done badly, like, not treating poorly, I will like that project, even though it's in the same continuity. I will acknowledge that that is a poorly done example, and this is how you write a character better.
You know what's funny though, and I'm really curious what you think. I think the Harley Quinn show is better than this. I actually enjoy the Harley Quinn show, and it actually. So, for instance, they have a weird Bane, and they have like, stupid versions of characters, but they also pay respect to a lot of characters as well. But I genuinely think it's a better show, like for what I've seen, like of.
You know what, nerd man? If I had some glue and some bird feed, I would throw it on you and have the pigeons just pick it off of you. What the heck are you talking about? What the heck are you talking about, nerd man? I'm so sitting on messing with you, man. Go ahead.
No, the Harley Quinn show is pretty good.
Yeah, the Harley Quinn show is good. I did enjoy it.
Can I say something here? Like, I want to say something here because Cersei is I've never really experienced much of Cersei, right, at all.
Okay.
And from what I've seen of her, she's a pretty formidable character. She's very powerful.
Yeah.
And when she was attacking the princess and things, I was pretty worried. I think the attack on her was kind of she wasn't expecting it, right? It was by surprise.
Yeah.
And so she was caught off guard, and they didn't actually stop. They kind of basically knocked her out. That's basically what they did. They couldn't stop her in terms of power. They weren't more powerful than her. So if I've heard about Paradise Lost, and it's going to be like a Game of Thrones kind of thing. And if they had Cersei in that as the main villain, for example, I'd be well up for seeing that. I would love to see that, and I'd love to see Cersei in that context with that kind of tone, because I think she's a pretty formidable villain. Like, I mean, you can't have her in every Wonder Woman related project. Like, you couldn't have her as the villain in Paradise Lost, and the villain in the Wonder Woman movie, and then like go on and on and on and on. But she's I think I've been pretty impressed by that character. I don't at all think that she's weak or fragile or easily beatable, just based on that episode. And that's my take on it. And like I said, I'm not. I mean, I didn't really read many Wonder Woman comics, and I'm not as familiar with her universe as
I'll give you some recommendations.
I'm a fan of the character. I'm a fan of the character, but I'm not as much of a nerd about the character as I am about other characters. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
I understand, but I'll give you some recommendations. There's some really good stuff.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. I'd love to check those out.
I can see what he means. It's like, if you watch it, it doesn't look like they're disrespecting the character. It just looks like the character was just caught off guard because Cersei was just solely focused on the princess and everything like that. And it's like, when you're caught off guard, you don't expect someone to.
My
you're not around. If you're not looking around your surroundings in a sense.
My problem is that they always do this to. They never do the disrespect to Batman, right? They always do the disrespect to the characters associated with it's like when Mercy Graves gets killed in Batman v Superman, and it's like, there are people going, oh wow, look at the stakes. It's like, okay, if you want your stakes so bad, why don't you kill a Batman person? Kill Catwoman. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want your stakes for your film so badly. If you're that much of a badass that you're like, oh, I'm just gonna kill Jimmy Olsen within 5 minutes, right? Like, you're so brave. Go on, kill fucking Catwoman. Kill Alfred. You know what I'm saying? They will never do that to certain characters. They always do it to, and that's my problem with it. If you're that subversive, James Gunn, go ahead and do that to somebody,
But of course, he's not gonna kill Cersei. She was just.
No, I'm not saying kill Cersei. I'm giving
give an example. I see what you mean, man. But I'll tell you something even worse. The only reason why Cersei beat the Bride was because Bride was having those flashbacks.
Oh, what you're saying is you want more stakes or something like that?
No, that's not.
No.
I'm
I
just-
think what Nerdman means is like we're doing, instead of doing this to Wonder Woman characters or Superman characters, like maybe like, you know, why doesn't Batman characters don't get the same, like, you know, oh yeah, we'll have a main character that is beloved and we'll actually,
Oh, that's what you mean.
you know, like I mean that Jimmy Olsen thing in Batman v Superman, that annoys the hell out of me to this day. And one reason I've never forgiven Zack Snyder for that movie.
I can tell you the reason.
Now you can see it from my point of view of what I'm saying. Like, obviously, it's Wonder Woman's character now, but like, that's my point. It's like they do these kind of things to these people, but like they won't, like, you know, and they think they're being extra subversive by doing it. But actually, if you really try to be subversive, if you really want to impress me with how much you don't like, you know, like, then do it to a character that supposedly matters. I think Cersei matters. To me, she matters, but like to the general audience, you know, Cersei's just like a new character that they don't know, right? So
yeah, they have to get used to the character and stuff like that, because not like in actuality, like I don't think Cersei has shown up. Like I think this is the first time she's shown up in.
right, it's the first time she's shown up, apart from like maybe in an animated like Justice League or something like that. But the fact of the matter is, she's one of Wonder Woman's top 3 villains. Do you know what I mean? If you wanted to do this, you could have done it with another character from Wonder Woman, another villain or something like that, who, you know, and then it wouldn't matter so much. But when you're talking about a top 3 villain of Wonder Woman, you're like, okay, so how am I going to take you seriously when freaking what's his name can knock Weasel or whatever can knock you out? Like, how you're going to present a challenge to Wonder Woman now?
I think what I mean, actually, going back to the actual show, like there was a moment where I was watching Cersei, like before she got knocked out and stuff. I was thinking like this, okay, these guys are struggling to deal with this.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, yeah, this is kind of not their. This is more like Wonder Woman, Superman territory than like Creature Commandos. It's like, you know, so I can. My point was that I can see a link as to why Superman would show up there at some point, or you know, maybe it says Clark Kent doing a report or something, right? But actually, it's he's doing Superman stuff. If there's a scene in that country in Superman, I could get it. It could naturally follow on from it, right? That's what I was thinking, because like stuff like that that's going down, people are going to hear about it eventually because it's a big deal. It's the princess, you know. And
to be fair, it wasn't as big a disrespect as BVS. I was just using it as an analogy.
BVS is like one of the worst. I mean, I think it's one of the worst superhero movies ever made, and it's like it's hugely disrespectful to Superman and Batman. Like it just messed. I'm still angry about that movie, and I can't really talk about it without getting angry.
Yeah, let's just get on to Creature Commandos. I was just saying that yes, it's not as far as this episode goes. I was using that as an analogy so you would understand where I'm coming from, but it wasn't.
Right. Okay, I get it. I get it. I definitely get it when it comes to that movie. Yeah. Yeah. But I enjoyed this episode, and I was really interested in the story of you know, a GI robot, and I felt a lot of empathy for him as well. He's just following his programming, you see. It's not even that he decides that he wants to murder people. It's just that he's programmed to do that. And so you kind of feel a bit of empathy for him at the end. And obviously, I don't think he's fully dead. Hopefully not. Hopefully he comes back. But I thought Sean Gunn did a really good job with playing him and voicing him. I thought he was excellent. And yeah, I thought it was. I enjoyed the episode. I'm looking forward to next week to see, especially after that trailer for next week, which was very interesting. And
See the trailer.
it was the little flash forward to the next episode, whatever, coming next
like
week.
the next week on.
With because there's a lot of references to. I mean, that's kind of a nightmare like vision, isn't it? Of like because in that
Future vision.
you've got Superman dead, you've got his cape flapping, torn and stuff. You've got Peacemaker lying on the ground. You've got Supergirl and Wonder Woman like dead and stuff. So it's like a nightmare vision or something, and it's going to be interesting to see what that is, and see how that impacts Superman as well, like the movie. So that makes me curious. But I mean, I'm enjoying this show, and it's a nice, soft, like introduction, like a gentle appetizer, which leads to the main event, which is in July. So
I think it's not a mind-blowing show. Right now, it's not better than Peacemaker. Right now, it's not better than the Suicide Squad, but it's fun. It's good fun to watch week to week. I didn't expect this top-tier DC thing, but as with any James Gunn project, I'm having fun with it, and I'm finding the heart within it. Like, I think this moment that we've had up for the past like hour, it's crazy how I can feel something in just 20 minutes. Like, I think Sean Gunn did such a good job in the role, and I think the writing must be there for me to feel something.
Yeah, I was crying. I cried when the end, that scene that's on the screen now. Like,
What?
I was quite emotional. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, Sean Gunn did a good job of connecting me with that guy. Like, and it's the way he communicates, that voice. You know, like he's just a guy that's following his program. He's not. There's no malice in him in the sense like he's not evil. You know. But you know, so you kind of feel a degree of empathy, like he's doing what he's programmed to do, and you know, so you know, I was a bit and I was like thinking like, how does James Gunn do this? How does he do this with everything I see of his? Like, he makes me get emotional about characters that I've never seen really before, and I had no connection to whatsoever, and yet somehow he gets me to feel something, and it's just his writing.
Look, when I think of DC animation, I think of that first run they had in DC animation where everything was like a fucking 8 to 9 out of 10. Like, you've got like Batman Under the Red Hood, you've got like The Dark Knight Returns, you've got like Superman, All-Star Superman, all of those kind of cartoons. This does not reach up to that level. It does not make me feel the same things. It does not make me feel like, wow, this is DC back. You know, it's good. It's good. It's solid. You know, and I'm really. It makes me want to look forward to the Superman movie and see what he does with it. I think it's done its job. I'm not against it in any way. You might think 6.5 is low, but it's actually not low in my opinion, considering I really didn't like the Suicide Squad.
This has been a great conversation, guys. Thank you so much for joining for Creature Commandos episode 3. We'll work down the panel. Where can people find you? So you can find Nerdman on the streets. Ep3, where can people find you?
You can always catch me live Wednesday nights on the OOC with the host Anzo, aka the Abbott, and the Osiris of the Sheet, the Spliff King, and the Professor of Gunja, alongside his co-host Roberto, aka Mr. 100, aka No Trouble Did It Ain't Gonna Be Irie. No woman, no cry. Saturdays, you can catch me on Square One with the host Danny, the amazing, the outstanding, the charismatic, always man of the hour. Dr. Says the illest because he suffers from that realness. And of course, prime time. Can I say one more time? Prime time. Thursdays, which is Creature Commando watch parties with mi hermano de otra madre, el príncipe de Nueva York, Superwise.
Hell yeah. JP.
And the Nerdman, yeah.
Kiss my.
Okay, I'm just like, you just find me I'm on all the socials. James Prescott 77. That's what I am, pretty much everything. And I've got a podcast. I do some of the podcasts I do are kind of analysis of geek culture and big movies and superheroes and how they relate to our everyday lives and stuff like that, amongst other things. You can check that out. I've done a lot of episodes. I've done episodes on Superman, on Loki, on Batman, on loads of different projects, superhero projects, and there's one coming out in January as well on that. Doctor Who as well. I'm a Whovian. So that's where you find me. I'm also on Superwise's Discord if you want to find me there, and hopefully I'll be in more of these streams as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone.